Two dudes and a cage. We are back. Charles Clark.
And I'm Matt Johnson.
We got another great night of fights for you. UFC Fight Night. Derrick Lewis versus Sergei Spivac. We got the main card of fights for you. We are going to get right into it and bring you the stuff right away. So let's do it. First up on the main card, we got Jack Della Maddalena versus Danny Roberts. Man, Jack, he was on Dana White Contender Series. He's a BJJ brown belt. He's from Australia. Man, this guy only had one amateur fight before going pro. I think that's pretty cool. That means he's a badass, in my opinion. He's got 10 knockouts on his record. Danny, on the other hand, he was a pro kickboxer, or a pro boxer, excuse me. He's got 8 KOs on his record, 5 subs. Man, honestly, Danny has lost to Francis Trinaldo and Mike Perry. So I see him losing to Jack as well. I think Jack probably will get another KO, if not a unanimous decision against the former pro kickboxer Danny. What do you think?
I'll tell you what, they're starting this card off fireworks because Maddalena is a striker, Danny Roberts is a striker, and Roberts has good power, but he's also got good takedown defense. He's about 57%. Roberts lost his last fight by decision. It was unanimous. Maldona's undefeated in the UFC, and I think he's going to stay that way. 2 fights, TKO wins. This one's going to be stand and bang. It's going to be fireworks, but Maddalena gets it done.
Sir, all right. We are in agreement early on.
Yeah. All right. The next fight we got is Andre Fialho versus Muslim Salikhov.
Muslim?
Is it Muslim?
I think so, yeah.
All right. We'll put a little tilde above the I.
It's yeah.
This one, they both lost by knockout in their last fight.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a good redemption fight for one of them. Fialho is a boxer, but Muslim is an Olympic kickboxer. And I think the Olympic experience is going to give him a little bit of an edge. And I don't know, I just see Muslim doing well, mixing in the little wrestling he has. He's pretty decent in grappling. And he's going to be too much for Fialho, and Muslim is going to get the victory.
Nice, man. I really like Andre Fialho, man. Dude brings the heat, man. Like you said, he's a boxer. Dude's got a lot of power. His check left hook is really amazing. He's got 13 KOs on his record. He was in Bellator, PFL, LFA. Yeah, but though, like you said, Muslim, man, dude, he's from Dagestan, so he's a wrestler. And if he's a Dagestani wrestler, he trains at ATT. He's a BJJ blue belt. He's also a wushu master, which I think is pretty cool. He's got 12 KOs on his record himself. So he can strike. He's not afraid to strike. But I think, like you said, the difference here is that wrestling ability. I really do like Andre. And, man, if he lands that check left hook at the correct time, he does have the ability to knock Muslim out. But I do think you're right. I do think Muslim is going to get the win here, even though I'm rooting for Andre to win.
Yeah, I mean, Andre, he's a good fighter, but he takes shots. Yeah. He absorbs about 6.5 shots per minute, and I just think that's going to be a huge factor.
Yeah, that's kind of his style, where he's trying to learn people's timing and learn so he can land that check left hook, and he takes a lot of damage in the process. You're right, and those shots just start adding up, and I think once Muslim hits a couple of shots, mixes in a takedown, starts to use his wrestling, it'll overwhelm Andre. Whereas Andre, he's still kind of becoming a mixed martial artist. He primarily only see him use his boxing in his MMA fights a majority of the time, and that's going to be an issue for him. Ooh, next up, we have Chase Sherman versus Waldo Acosta. Man, Chase Sherman, he's a BJJ blue belt. Man, he's kind of trained all around. He's moved gyms a lot, man. He used to train with Alan Belcher. He trained at Rufus Sport. He trained with Jackson Wink. And now he's at Stanford MMA. I really don't like that he's changed gyms a ton of times. I mean, it's natural. People change gyms most of the time in their life. They move, they outgrow the gyms, you know, but there's a lot of gym changes there for Chase Sherman. And that just makes me wonder why he's changed gyms so many times. He's got 15 KOs on his record. I mean, maybe he's just looking for a better gym, you know, a better thing. But the grass isn't always greener, you know, and eventually you got to just kind of pick one and keep going with it. Waldo, he's 8-0. He's got 4 KOs. He was on Dana White Contender Series. He was in Bellator. I think Waldo, even though he's kind of lesser known, he's undefeated. Chase Sherman does have more experience and he's been in the UFC, but I just don't think Chase Sherman is that high caliber of a fighter, even though he has so many knockouts on his record. I think Waldo's on the come up and I expect to see him win Saturday night. What do you think?
So, you know, Waldo, like you said, undefeated. Sherman is 1-4 in his last 5 fights.
Yeah.
I think a little of that has to do with the gym hopping. And, you know, maybe, like you said, maybe he wasn't finding the right fit.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it because he lost and didn't get immediate results from switching? So we'll never know. Sanford MMA's good gym. Glover Teixeira, you know, Alex Pereira.
Yeah. But so is Jackson Wink. And in all honesty, Rufus Sport is a pretty damn good gym too, you know?
Yeah, I mean, all 3 of those gyms, you know, have champions, had champions. And if he can't find it there, then what's he looking for? He was doing really good at Belcher.
Yeah.
You know, he was a police officer, Philly. 94% of his wins in the UFC are by KO. But Waldo is going to mix that wrestling, and I think Waldo's going to get it done. I wouldn't be shocked if Waldo was able to get a submission on him.
Nice. Yeah, probably give Chase Sherman his wallpapers too. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not big of a name for him. Like there's some fighters that, you know, could go on skid, and the UFC keeps him around because the name and popularity. All right, this next fight, Cody Brundage versus Rodolfo Vieira.
Yeah.
You know, Rodolfo is a black belt in BJJ, which is weird because his takedown accuracy is only 27%.
Yeah.
Now, you know, we know from watching him, he shoots a lot. You know, kind of like throws it on the wall, see what sticks. Against Brundage, I don't think that game plan is going to work. If Vieira can just let the takedown happen naturally, I think Vieira gets it done. But on the other side, Brundage isn't a slouch in wrestling. He's got good wrestling. He's got good grappling. He's got good striking. Well, all around. And I think Brundage is going to do enough to keep the fight where he wants it and control the pace. And I think he's going to get it done by decision.
Nice. You think Brundage is going to get the W, huh?
I do.
Yeah, man. Cody Brundage is no joke, man, dude. He's a tough dude. Like for real. He's from Factory X, just north of where I live. They're kind of a rival of our gym, honestly. Cody Brundage, he's a wrestler. He's got amazing strikeage. He comes from that gym out of Michigan. His BJJ is really good. Rodolfo, like you said, he's a BJJ black belt. He's only got 1 KO but 7 subs. Yeah, I think this is definitely a super interesting matchup. I think definitely Rodolfo is going to be looking for a takedown, right? And I think if he's just like you said, he just kind of shoots and sees with sticks, and that's why his takedown percentage is so low because he shoots so many times. And that you're right, I don't think that will work on Cody. So if Rodolfo tries just like I said, Claudio Puelles, man, he can't do that stupid Imanari roll bullshit. That shit
Called it.
Yeah, it's not gonna work on Dan Hooker. It's kind of the same thing here, Rodolfo. Dude, you can't just shoot crazy takedowns. You got to set it up. You got to, use your kicks, use your punches, and then land a takedown. Cody Brundage, he brings the heat, bro. That motherfucker really wants it. He ain't playing around, bro. I see Cody winning this one too. I really do. He's got that heart, man. Let's go, Cody. Even though you deleted me on Facebook.
It's because you guys are in rival gyms.
Yeah.
This next fight surprised me.
Yeah. Oh man, Kennedy Nzechokwu versus Ian Cutelaba. Man, Kennedy trains at Fortis MMA. He's got 7 KOs on his record. Man, when you think of Kennedy, you think of a heavy-handed, hard-hitting striker. Ian, man, dude, sambo, judo, kickboxing, wrestling. He's got 12 KOs. He's got 2 subs. Man, honestly, I think this is an interesting matchup. I think this matchup is what's gonna really tell us Eon's path. If he wins this fight, he still maybe kind of has a future in stick around. If he loses this fight, it's probably gonna be the beginnings of a downward spiral. And on his way out, I think Eon's gonna be trying to look for a takedown as well. Maybe not since the way Ryan Spann got him in that fight, maybe not. But honestly, I think Kennedy is gonna win this fight. I just think Eon, I think he's lost 2 in a row now. I just see Kennedy going up and Eon going down. I just how I see it going, honestly. What do you think?
I was shocked to even see Eon on this card. He fought last month against Walker and lost via decision. I think this fight is more to test Kennedy, and it's setting Eon in a gatekeeper role.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Nice.
He's still a competitor, and he's still able to weed out the pretenders against the contenders.
Yeah.
And I just think, Kennedy, he's a beast. He's got that power. He's got the speed. They both land about the same amount of strikes. They both absorb about the same amount. But I just think Kennedy hits harder, and his takedown defense is good against the cage. It's the open.
Yeah.
But I think Kennedy's going to push forward and get Eon on his back foot, and he's going to catch him with the hook.
Yes, sir. Nice.
All right. The main event.
Yeah.
Derrick Lewis versus Sergei Spivac.
Let's go.
Spivac is tough to find things on the interwebs.
Yeah.
I know he is a grappler, and he's got good takedown accuracy, and he's got good takedown defense. We don't have to worry about his takedown defense in this fight, because if Derrick Lewis tries to take you down, that means you got him hurt. And Lewis, I don't know if he's got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but his last few fights haven't been very good for him. I mean, they set him up for failure, putting him in Houston. He never does well fighting in his home state or hometown.
Yeah.
But I just think, he's getting older. These guys are getting faster. And unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to catch Sergei. First round is probably about as far as we're going to get in this. I think if it goes past the first round, Sergei's going to just take over and stop Lewis. But the first round's going to tell a lot. But Spivac's going to get it done no matter what.
Man, yeah, Derrick Lewis, man, dude, everybody loves him, dude. He's a great personality. He's a BJJ blue belt. If you actually didn't know that, which surprised me. He's got 21 KOs on his record, which is amazing.
I think he's got the record in the UFC for the most knockouts.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sergei has 7 KOs and 6 subs, though. Yeah, man, it's like you said. I think Derrick Lewis, he's really popular. He's probably making money outside of the UFC. His personality is helping him generate income.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he's getting paid a lot of money now. I think he's, like you said, I think he's at the point in his career where he's just kind of content. He's getting a lot of money. He's happy. So he's probably not in the gym 8 hours. He's not busting his ass. He's not super hungry anymore, really, is what it comes down to, is what I see, is he's just not hungry. He's happy. He doesn't give a shit losing. He fucking, like you said, 1 round fight. He went out there for 5 minutes and got paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. Honestly, it's not that bad if you ask me. Yeah, it sucks getting your ass kicked, but you could pay me a couple $100,000 to do that for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's easy money, honestly. Yeah, it sucks, and people laugh at you and talk shit about you on the internet and shit. But Derrick Lewis probably doesn't give a shit about none of those people. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. And I think that's part of what boils down to it, is he just doesn't care anymore. He just doesn't care. He doesn't care to get another loss. It doesn't matter. He just wants that paycheck at the end of the day. And what it boils down to, yeah, Derrick Lewis just wants the money from the fight. He's not a true hungry fighter like he used to be anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's getting older, he doesn't want to get beat on anymore. He wants to make money in other ways, Yeah, so I see Sergei winning this one as well. Honestly. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, man, that's it for our main card for that. But, man, let's talk about UFC 281. Man, what did you think about all those fights? Man,
I'll tell you what.
Dude.
Frankie Edgar, wish he didn't go out the way he did. Yeah. We both had him losing the fight, but we never wanted him to lose that way.
And honestly, that quick knockout is kind of better than him just getting his ass beat for 3 rounds,
Yeah.
He looked fine, and that tells me that he got up, he was talking fine. That should show you right there that, like, he didn't get knocked out because he was fucked up in his damage. He got knocked out because he's fucking worn out and his chin just can't take it. Usually you get knocked out, you're kind of out of it for a little bit, and he just got flash knocked out basically because his chin is so weak.
Yeah.
So it sucks.
The main event.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump right into it.
Right.
We always knew that this was gonna be more of a kickboxing fight.
Right.
When I watched the fight the first time, about third round, I was like, oh, Izzy looks tired. Maybe it's because all the wrestling he was doing. So I rewatched it yesterday, and it wasn't really, he wasn't tired. That leg kick that Pereira checked in the fifth round,
Yeah.
he rolled backwards. I don't think that compromised Izzy as much. I know Izzy said it did, which I'm sure it did a little bit, but I think that short right hook that Pereira just lands on everyone out of nowhere
Yeah.
is what really caught it. It was a good stoppage. Hate to see Izzy go out like that, you know, but
Yeah.
what's next for Pereira?
Honestly,
Obviously a rematch, but
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about a rematch right away. But dude, honestly, Izzy was winning that fight, dude. The end of the first round, he almost knocked Alex out. I think
yeah.
if that fight would have went to the scorecards, Izzy would have won that fight. I
Oh,
really,
he was up 3-1, definitely.
really do. So
Yeah.
that's interesting. But it's hard to give him a rematch because he's lost to him 3 times now, even though that wasn't I honestly I think the UFC will do it. It was a good fight since he won in the 5th round. Um it wasn't an actual KO, it was a TKO. I can see a rematch happening. If this event sold really well and did enough numbers, it'll definitely get a rematch.
So do you think they would do the rematch in Brazil? Because they like to, every time they get a Brazilian champion, they try to like have their, one of their first fights as champion in Brazil.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe if there's, I'm not really sure. I mean, yeah, there's a huge market for MMA there, so
Yeah.
they probably sell a lot. They probably sell out just as much in the arenas in Brazil as like
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden. Like Madison Square Garden should show you like how big of an event that they held it there. So the man tickets were probably super expensive for
Oh
that,
yeah.
you know.
What do you think about Pereira's chances against an actual wrestler? Because we've never really seen him against it. And that's what worries me. Before I can get on the Pereira bandwagon,
Right.
I want to see how he
No,
wrestles.
honestly, I think, dude, he's been training with Glover, Teixeira, and all those other Wellington Turman. There was another dude. There was a couple other dudes on the card that all trained with Glover, Teixeira. I'm gonna go ahead and say that dude's probably got some good ground game to him.
Yeah.
Just because we haven't seen it, um, doesn't mean it's not there.
It's like Makachev. Didn't see everything that everyone says until, we
Right?
did. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, dude looks pretty good to me. I mean, he's honestly, yeah, yeah. I mean, he's surprisingly a good fighter. To
he is. And 8 fights in MMA and world champion. That's got to be a record.
yeah, 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 dude. Uh, right, and he's had what that was his 5th MMA fight, right?
In the UFC. So he's 7-1.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Is he? Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, that's still 7-1 and UFC champion is pretty good,
Well,
honestly.
now 8-1 because he beat Izzy, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry.
But I mean, unheard of.
Right, right.
But I mean, when you're built out of mahogany,
Yeah, yeah. Man, it just goes to show you, man, dude.
everyone's got their kryptonite.
Right, right. Yeah, it's crazy. I, I think it. Yeah, Izzy? It kind of just shows that there's probably some holes in Izzy's grappling game, and
Yeah.
if he was a more well-rounded mixed martial artist, he might have been able to win that fight. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah, when he was holding him on the ground, he kept like putting his hook in, but he was never like he'd get the hook in, but it was more of like a position hook and not
Yeah,
like a Like if he hooked that leg and rolled back, he would have got his back.
He didn't commit to taking it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that just kind of showed that either he didn't want to and was scared to like maybe lose position, or he wasn't comfortable enough.
Yeah.
And that, that should show you like, dude, he should have jumped on his back,
Oh yeah.
Seriously, he should have just jumped on that motherfucker right there. But
yeah, it was a good card though.
yeah, it was. It was actually. It was a really good card, man. It was a good night of fights.
Now we got one more, December 10th.
Yeah,
That's going to be a good one too, end of the year.
yeah. Those end of year cards are always good for some reason. I don't know if it's like because it's Christmas time or what, but it seems like they're always fire.
They're trying to get all the fighters because they have the contract. They have to have, offer 3 fights a year. So
Yeah. Trying to
December 10th, like, all right, we need everyone else to fight.
all you have to fight. Yes,
Yeah.
that's why they're so good. They're packed.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So that concludes our fight night main event. Little 281 recap.
Yeah.
If you like us, subscribe, hit that notification. Let's do this.
Yes, 2 dudes in a cage. We are getting popular. People are watching. Thousands of people are listening to us talk about MMA. Get in on the action. I have won close to $10,000 this year betting on MMA. You can too. I promise you it's easy. You just got to use your head and think smart. Play it safe. Don't throw away your money. 2 dudes in a cage.
We're out.
Hope you win some.